Okay, Mondo, I guess I owe you an apology. Or do I? I'm making this video mainly because I've gotten a lot of feedback from my last video about the Mondo, what I like to call the 40th anniversary Master of the Universe He-Man figure, which is about to be released in a couple of hours, actually. I did actually mention in the video multiple times that there's probably going to be only about an hour window to actually get this order. And in the same video, I actually did flash, several times on the screen that it was actually going to be a 24-hour release. But I did sort of stress the idea that I was not going to be able to get this, and that other people should not. I might have even sort of implied that maybe we shouldn't even bother. But in all honesty, this comes from multiple. Well, there were multiple reasons why I said that, and I just wanted to clear the air and really sort of, in a way, apologize for maybe misleading some people, because honestly, I do have to, like, after doing some research and watching some other videos and listening to other reviewers, I've come to the conclusion that it appears that this is going to be a full 24-hour availability for this particular product, and that's great. I do love that. I do acknowledge that that's huge in terms of like what Mondo is doing, but not to go too far back or backpedal on this, but the reality is, can you really blame me? The experiences that a lot of people have had with Mondo products in the past have been that, there's a lot of their products are very, very rare, and they only have a limited amount of stock in many cases, and in some cases, like with Scareglow, he sold out in seconds. I refer a lot to the Mad Hatter Reviews purchasing video. He tried his best to go get that Scareglow figure, and he just did not do it. It just disappeared so fast. I've also gotten comments in that same video that people have had Mondo products in their cart trying to check out, and because for one reason or another, whether the shopping cart failed or the shopping cart stalled or their internet connection was too slow, that it just did not happen for them. So this is a an acknowledgement that I probably did have a little bit of misinformation trying to get this news out, but I did it in in good faith. And the reason I did that in good faith was because I wanted to tell people who were interested in getting this Mondo figure to be ready to steel themselves. And get with exclusives, it's always been like this. There have been multiple times where I've tried myself to get exclusives, and for the most part, I'm very, very lucky, and I'll acknowledge that. But in many other cases, I just have not been able to get anything. So the exclusives hunt, if you will, which this is, can be a very, very frustrating experience, and in many different ways, an exercise in futility. So I always go in with these types of things with a healthy skepticism, truthfully. And you know what? I try to caution people and give them the idea that go in with a lot of hope and a lot of intrepidation, but at the same time go in, don't go in hoping that you're gonna absolutely score one. Go in ready to also have a little bit of disappointment. That's my message in many of these announcements. I, for one, am absolutely thrilled that Mondo is actually going to allow for this 24-hour window to order as many of these as possible. That's great. I do appreciate that. But if we in all fairness, if we take a look at the actual Mondo website, it's still a little bit unclear as to the wording itself is a bit. It's not concrete in terms of what it says. If we just take a quick look here on the Mondo website, the only information here is actually not on the front page about this He-Man. And in that sense, that to me, that's kind of disingenuous. The only way you actually know about this this timed release is if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, where they have their latest information, which is of course part of their blog, or you go to their About section, click on Blog, and the first thing that comes up, of course, is the Master Universe He-Man 1/6 scale figure timed edition. Interesting decision, considering that it's not on the front page, and it's obviously not going to be in the shop itself. So the only way you can find the information at all is by going to this article, and then after discovering more about this this figure being announced, we find out that since it was only announced last week, that you had that the actual release date was, the order date was actually so close. And it's this type of marketing, if you will, this type of announcement that seems disingenuous to me. I mean, like, there are only so many people who are going to be able to figure this out and, realize that this is even happening, which is one of the main reasons why I did the video, to actually get as many people aware that this was even happening at all. And, even if you scroll down and read all of the information that's presented here, the history of He-Man, how they came about doing this, some of the sculptors who were involved, the only actual information you find out about the actual ordering itself is right here, right at the end, where it says, the He-Man Deluxe exclusive will be available only at mondoshop.com. So immediately we know it's an exclusive. And that in and of itself is, sets off alarm bells for many collectors. Because obviously, as we have experienced in the past, exclusives can be very, very difficult to get. So, in my mind, I was like, all right, there's a limited amount of stock. And now and then after reading further, we find out as a 24-hour timed edition. Now, that seems like a good thing. And I even mentioned that inside the video. But, as per usual, the way I've been programmed, honestly, with these types of things, is to expect that there's actually going to be a limited amount of stock. And that's what I communicated in the video itself. So, we know now that the pre-orders go live on June 21st. There's another problem. This article was published June 16th. How many days is that, guys? That's only 6 days of notice. This is what I meant by, my love-hate relationship with Mondo. This type of practice, the way they announce their figures and their releases, it's literally like a go get it now, fear of missing out type of attitude. It's almost like predatory in the way they do things. And it really does make you, have some anxiety on the fact that you probably will not be able to get this. And that's actually the attitude I went in, when making that video. The other thing is, and this is the last thing I'm going to mention on this, there really is no indication about how much stock they will have. There really is no final indication saying that, these are made to order, and as many people who order it will actually get one. That's not actually clearly defined here. It doesn't say that. It only says that it's a 24-hour timed edition. So really, it's very, very vague and kind of ambiguous in terms of like how many pieces are going to be available, because it really doesn't say that. It says only that it's a 24-hour timed edition beginning at 12 p.m. Central Time, which is 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for anybody who's wondering, on 6/21, expected to ship on February 26th, and ships to most worldwide locations. They will not be shipping to those locations. So, yeah, guys, I know that probably my video seemed a little bit misleading, but can you really blame me? I mean, like, Mondo's kind of conditioned all of us to like have this FOMO, this actual fear of missing out when ordering these things. And in many cases, it really has just been, sold out in a matter of an hour or even less. In some cases, like less than 10 minutes. So, I apologize if anybody misunderstood what I was trying to say, or that thought that I was trying to imply that there was only 1 hour, for the ordering time. I obviously was not fully informed as to the full situation. However, I still maintain that this is not very clear, and yeah, we all have to still be very ready to expect, in my opinion, that there might be just a limited amount of stock, and within the 24-hour time frame, we just don't know when it's going to get cut off. That's still something I maintain, and I stick by that. But guys, I'm not going to ask you to like this video because it's kind of an up and down situation. But I hope that it was more informative than my last video, and I hope that you guys find it useful. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe, and as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. We have the power, everybody. We have the power. Geek proud.
I want to give a huge shout out to all my Patreon and channel member supporters. RyRatCan33, Old IT Guy, Princess Cagali, John Joker, Michael Traverso, Christopher Herndon, Snell World, Thomas Meyer, Budrick Porter, and Joseph Michaels. Thank you for all your support, everybody. It really means a lot to me and really does help the channel to keep going.